New from Fun City Editions is Cutter's Way, a movie that I have longed to see for the greatest while, and I've heard wonderful things about it. And it's one of those movies that when it was announced, I jumped on it, got it, and then just as I was about to watch it, I had a couple of people message me and just go, didn't like it. And that just gave me a bit of a backstep going into this one, because I was sure I was going to enjoy this one because of the wonderful cast. You've got Jeff Bridges as Bone, you've got John Heard as Cutter.
What? Do I detect some tension?
These two people who have somehow come together and joined forces, become good friends. And at the start of this one, we see Bone, who is a kind of womanizer, who's just kind of living life without any kind of anchor. He's just floating through the world. And as he's driving home, his car breaks down. There is this large car pulls up next to him in an alleyway, seems to dump something. Bone kind of runs to the bar to see Cutter, and this deeply affected character by the war, who's lost an eye, who's lost an arm, who is using a cane to walk. John Haird's Cutter is an alcoholic, antagonistic character, almost reprehensible in the way that he's going about just his day-to-day life, insulting people just because.
Maniac! Hey! It was an honest mistake.
And the basic crux of this story is the thing that being dumped in the alleyway was a body. Bone kind of has ideas of who the person is. Cutter kind of an idea of why things have happened, and together these two guys are going to kind of solve a mystery. And I do mean kind of, because it feels at times, although it's the driving plot of the movie, it's not the story it's here. It's the story of these two characters, and of course Lisa Elkinhorn as Cutter's wife, Mo, who is utterly the revelation of the movie. I think she steals the show from these two fantastic performances that are in here as the leads. She's a woman who has kind of stuck with her man. This was her choice. This is who she chose to be her husband, but he has changed dramatically over the years in his personality. Doesn't really care about the physical attributes that have been following him. She more cares about the person that he's becoming. It's a kind of toxic person that she can slowly see herself breaking away for throughout the movie.
You got it, kid.
This is really insulting of you, Alex. This is more bullshit than I expect, even from you in a day. You're an asshole!
And we kind of watch Bone and Cutter as they bounce off each other, as they kind of play with each other, trying to drive forward this mystery which nobody has asked them to investigate, which nobody is expecting them to solve. They kind of fall in with the victim's sister, and together this sort of quartet trio try to figure out a way of bringing the person to justice.
We are, all three of us, Rich included, agreed. It was Cord who killed Valerie's sister.
And that's what I kind of like about it. It's not about the although the mystery is a strong part of it, it's about the characters within this mystery and how they're almost redeeming themselves by trying to solve this murder. Almost redeeming themselves.
He knew who you were from the first, and not only you, but me, Valerie, and Mo. You think we haven't been watched? He may be scared, but he's smart.
It's one of those ones where I kind of just went with the flow. I thought the characters were fantastic. Jeff Bridges was great as Bone. John Heard gets the more showy role. He's the sort of crazier character. I love the moment, probably the best moment for this character is he comes home drunk. There's a car blocking his driveway. He just rams it out the way. He's absolutely so drunk he can barely walk. He gets in the house. The guy next door is, angry about his car and is phoning the police. And Cutter has this lucidity of going to his house, cleaning himself up, putting in some mouthwash. I mean, he comes out to see the police. He is a completely different character. He is articulate. He states his point. He's kind of charming along the way as well, and gets out of that situation.
You two can straighten out with the insurance.
Thank you, officer.
Are you kidding me? This bastard's a goddamn crazy menace. He's a fucking loony.
And that's the kind of things that I really liked about this one, the little detours to show how the characters can grow, how they can manipulate and change. And although the mystery, like I said, is the sort of driving plot of this one, it wasn't what kept me attentive to the movie. It wasn't what will bring me back to this one. It was the outstanding performances, the wonderful tale, and like I said, Lisa Eichenhorn, who as Mo, is by far and away the sort of MVP of this movie for me. There's a sequence with her and Bone where she's finally made up her mind. She's going to leave Cutter, although it's never said, it's just implied. She's finally breaking that bond she has with that person, and she's just in tears while doing something, and it's such a kind of powerful sequence. I just utterly adored it. Cutter and Bone is a hard one to talk about. It's got a good mystery at the heart of it, if that's what you want. If you're looking for some really fun characters, it's got that. If you're looking for something a little bit deeper, a little bit more strong within the thematics as well, it's there for you to dig out. I loved it. And then before you even just finish that, you go into the extras, and there's an absolute wealth, a ridiculous amount on there. So there we go. Cutter's Way, otherwise known as Cutter and Bone, from Fun City Editions, is fantastic for me. I thought it was a really fun movie. It's not the best mystery movie I've ever seen, but the characters are larger than life, the performances are excellent, and the story's really good as well. I would strongly suggest picking it up. Check out the trailers, see if it's something you would like. For me, it's pretty great. I would love to know your opinion of this movie, whether you've seen it or not, or whether you want to, whether you loved it, hated it, fell somewhere in the middle. Let me know in the comment box below and we can have a conversation about it. Don't forget to hit this video with a like, because it really helps. There's more content up here if you want to see more of my stuff. And don't forget that in the description box are links to the Patreon membership program and manvfilm.com, all ways in which you can support me.